And welcome back, everybody, to another UFC pay-per-view preview. This will be a UFC 211 from Dallas, Texas, Jerry World. It's a biggie, very biggie. Um, I will be here as one of the members. You can find me on Twitter at BDintric. As always, I am joined by Dawk at +_Vig and Duggy at California MMA. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Excellent.
Excellent. Doing well, sir. Doing well, sir.
Good to have you. We've been talking about this card, it seems like, for months now, and it is finally here, and it is glorious. Before we get into the main card, we haven't talked since 210. There's a fight night on Fox in Kansas City and a fight night in Nashville. Anything, Doc, that you'd like to talk about in those past cards?
Robert Whittaker is going to hold the belt and within the next 2 to 3 years. He will be the middleweight champion.
Why?
And,
Because someone legit's not getting a shot till like 2019.
That's right, Dougie. Because I mean, if you want to go on your middleweight rant again, I'm all ears because I love hearing it.
Well, because we could like in theory string this shit out, so we could go Bisping GSP in like October, right? And
right.
then
And
we could
Bisping,
do, like, let's say GSP wins, then they could go.
no,
Hold on, just let's play this out here so we can go max time on this, and then you immediate rematch, right? So like
yeah,
April, something like that, you get your rematch. Then we can throw Andy Silva into this thing. And then all of a sudden you can start doing Anderson Silva Bisping. Let's say Anderson wins, then they can give GSP the shot. And then let's say GSP beats him, Anderson gets a rematch. Like, we could do this till mid 2019 with these three.
yeah.
And the UFC might
don't
do
forget
it just to sell the fucking cards.
Don't forget about Yoel.
Nah, he's not getting shit. Not with those three. I think it's those three. Like, Yoel will get the, like, real belt. Like, he'll have to fight Rockhold or something like that. That's, like, the real champ. What's really going on with who's the best. But they could string this thing out if they wanted to. Into
Well,
like a ridiculous.
Well, they're going to, because they've already flat out said they need big money fights so bad, and so that's why they're putting these shit shows on. They think they're making money through the gate this way. So that's what we're going to see. And they're already talking about this. And they're already saying this GSP fight might not even happen until December or January. It keeps getting pushed back.
Such a fucking joke. It's such a joke. I guess Rockhold is gonna fight Whittaker next. That's what they're saying. But and then Anderson Silva's bullshit at Dana because Dana porked him, and that's no surprise. So it's kind of I don't know, man. It's just, why don't you just make a masters division of middleweights and just have all the, because I mean, let's be honest. I mean, does anybody really think that GSP is going to beat Michael Bisping?
Oh, I think a lot of people do.
I can't. Why?
Because it's GSP and he's a wrestler. Like,
how's he going to?
Now, trust me. Like, this will be a great one for us. But
yes.
I bet if you Twitter pulled that, you would get a GSP over 50%. Like,
yeah,
well,
I agree.
50.
I agree.
I mean, just think about the dumb fuck Canadians that are gonna, like, just because it's a Canadian, they're all about it. Like,
oh man,
like
are we gonna?
It's like the Toronto Blue Jays. It's like all of a sudden, there's a bunch of baseball fans up in fucking Canada. All of a sudden, like, where the fuck did that come from?
Are we gonna?
Notice how quiet they got last year and this year, but like 2 years ago, like, I had to mute some people because it was like, Jesus Christ, I didn't even know you watched baseball.
Hey, Dougie.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you ever heard, but like, Bubba and I were talking about the Toronto Blue Jays fans, and like after they lost, like what did the average Toronto Blue Jay fan do? Did he go home and break open a bottle of wine and listen to the entire Fight for Fighting catalog?
Yeah, or like Dion
Got into a little
like,
Nickelback, a little Avril Lavigne. Just
open a sparkling cider, like fuck. Fuck. Drank 4 Molsons. Like, come on.
oh, fuck.
So Dougie, let me ask you this: who are the top 3 middleweights in the world right now?
Romero, Rockhold, and Whitaker.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah, I mean, because I think Weidman, Mousasi, and Jacare are all a step below them. And then I think, I don't know if I'm forgetting somebody, but
it won't matter. It won't matter. The UFC forgot him too.
And then I think like Bisping is a step below those guys, and but like I would be cool with seeing Rockhold or Romero take a fight at 205.
Ooh,
like,
that'd be nice.
That might be what they have to do.
Like you never see it, but like, why not Rockhold against Cormier? Like, let's do Romero against Cormier. Fuck it.
Yeah, Rockhold won't fight his freaking teammate. That'll never happen.
which is fair. That's fair. Like, I'm just, but like,
you
know, who else is someone like a cool matchup for Rockhold at 205? You know what I mean? I'm sure we can think of something.
Well, speaking of 205, haven't you heard about the great Chuck Liddell coming back?
Oh,
Jesus.
I had to bring it up with all the GSP Anderson Silva talk.
Well,
they really should make a Masters division.
I mean, it's Bellator. Bellator's already done it.
Yep.
They just might have to bite the bullet and let him go.
Well, they already fired him from his regular job, so you might go fire him.
Matt Hughes.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Any other fights from the last few cards, guys?
I totally want to forget Nashville because it was just a total shit show for me. And I don't know about Dougie, but.
Oh, the last 2 UFC events, I have, I think I'm on a 5 or 6 bet just losing streak in general. And then I think the last 5 straight, what the fuck is the word? 5 straight, where I've got it like the favorites. 5 straight favorites I've laid the juice on have all lost.
Oh.
Like negative 180, just said fuck it, this is a guaranteed win, and just taking the L and being like, oh wow. 5 straight of those. Like I think between that time I've hit like a parlay or an underdog, but anything I've been like negative 140, this is a win, taking an L. Like bad. So I'm assuming regression to the mean of back to winning is on deck here. Because
you would think.
And MMA is pretty fucking easy to win at, but it's like, Jesus, the fuck is brutal. Like lost like $1,000 in 2 weeks, just like, oh. And then I've just had to sit here. But because I don't really bet anything else, I've hit like a couple stupid little like tipped things on some futures hockey and some futures NBA shit, but I don't know what I'm doing. That so I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I did well at the UFC fight night. I hit Whitaker and stuff, but Nashville was just a total I bombed it. I mean, it was gross. And then like I think one other thing, Rose Namajunas looked fucking unbelievable. She looked really, really good.
Oh, okay.
Rose looked great. And what about Artem Lobov? Main event. He went 5 rounds.
I couldn't believe it.
I was shocked.
I was too.
Sorry, I just had a call come in on that. My bad.
No problem. And the fifth round, actually, he looks decent.
Yeah, I guess all the training with Connor has done him some good finally.
Well, when you're not when you get off your knees and train, it's amazing what happens.
Okay, now this is what I wanted to bring up because it sounds like the UFC is going to open up this 125-pound division for women.
Yep.
And of all of the weight classes, that's the best weight class, because that, like, Valentina Shevchenko is a small 135-pound fighter. And Joanna Jędrzejczyk is a giant 115-pound fighter. So that's the fight to make.
There you go.
Get those two chicks fighting at 125, and that's an interesting cool shit. Like, I don't think Jędrzejczyk's going to be at 115 much longer if they literally legitimately open up at 125-pound weight class.
Interesting.
But then you get Mackenzie Dern, and then some of these small 135ers and big 115ers are going to come into the middle of this, like Calderwood and shit like that. So it's a good weight class, but they should have done this.
I honestly did not know Duggy knew that much about women's fighting.
Well, I just pay attention to Mackenzie Dern. But no, I mean, I know my shit.
I know, I'm joking.
But for real, if you don't know who Mackenzie Dern is, like, look her up. But
she's nasty.
She's nasty and she's real good looking, so there's a lot to work with for the UFC.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this UFC 211. It is loaded. It started out as 14 fights. We're already down to 13. Doc, would you like to tell us what happened?
Oh, due to I don't know the exact report, but Henry Cejudo against Sergio Pettis is off the card, canceled.
What?
I saw something about a broken hand on Cejudo.
Oh, motherfucker!
I know, and I liked Sergio too.
No, I like Cejudo, but
one less argument.
Yeah, that really sucks. That was going to be a good fight.
But we're used to fights getting canceled on UFC cards, so at least they started with 14. We'll probably get at least 10 by go time.
Yeah, I'd say 12.
Yeah, I'd say 12 probably. We still have 13 to go over. The Fight Pass prelims start at 6:15 Eastern, 3:15 Pacific. If we don't have anything on these, we will just move right through them. But real quick, Joachim Christensen versus in the light heavyweight division. Tugalov is a heavy favorite, like minus 380 to minus 400. Depends on what book you're at. Doc, do you have anything on this one?
Antigulov should handle him. I don't see any kind of live dog. Antigulov could probably either submit him or TKO him or knock him out or whatever. But Antigulov should take it pretty easily.
Any hot takes, Dougie?
No. Antigulov's the guy that got that guillotine on DeLima, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know enough about him. There's no way I'd lay that kind of money on him.
All right.
It's like a 400 or something.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like minus 400.
I mean, he may end up being worth it and trust this dude, but I'm not. Fuck that.
All right, that'll take us to the featherweight division. Gabriel Mogli Benitez versus Enrique El Fuerte Barzola. I got Benitez as a minus 145 to minus 170 favorite, depending on your book. Dougie, you got any of these little tykes?
Benitez is pretty good, I think. He's just like a pretty solid base fighter. He's got a good kicking game. Barzola's kind of awkward. He's like a tall, weird style fighter. I kind of like Benitez here. Negative 140 is not terrible. I think he wins probably more like 2-1. So that's like I would think about that. If it comes down a little more, I'd probably jump on it.
It's been on the way down, it looks like, for the most part. So you might have a chance. Doc, you got anything on this fight?
Yeah, Benitez is a pretty nice striker. He should take care of business here. He's Dougie said he's got some great kicks. He does.
He's like a markedly better athlete than this.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Benitez should win, but I don't think I'm gonna get invested or anything.
All right. Heading to the heavyweight division, we have Chase, the Vanilla Gorilla Sherman what a nickname, against Rashad, the Daywalker Coulter. Sherman's about a -150 favorite going into this fight of heavyweights, kind of smaller heavyweights compared to your norms, at least Daywalker. What do you got, Dawk?
Well, Coulter's coming in short notice, replacing. I think he was a Russian or something. I forget who he's replacing, but Coulter hits like a fucking truck. He's 8-1. He's won all his fights by knockout. He hasn't lost since 2013. Sherman's 0-2 in the UFC. You know how I don't like to bet on heavyweights really that often, but Coulter might be a sneaky dog because he can hit like a truck. But I don't know what the under is for this, but I don't think this fight's going to last long.
You don't think fatties are going to fatty?
Yeah, under 1.5 is -165. So I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Because you know how we talk about this short notice guys getting their chance. Coulter might be. Coulter's a hometown boy, correct? So I don't know. There you go.
You got anything on this one, Dougie?
No, I don't know shit about this one.
Outstanding. The brutal honesty you will get on this card. That takes the final fight past prelim fight in the women's straw weight division. We have Jessica Jag Aguilar taking on Courtney Cast Iron Casey. Wow, Cast Iron. How do you get a nickname Cast Iron? They're basically Casey's a -120 favorite. Doc, lead us off on this one.
God, totally
If you care.
totally a coin flip fight for me. I'm not going to bet it. They're both. Casey's the stronger woman, but Aguilar I think is a little bit more technical. I'm not touching this fight at all. This is a coin flip, and it's a pick 'em fight pretty essentially. So if I had to, I'd probably go Casey, but I'm not betting it.
Dougie, anything on the women's fight?
Like, when I see this fight and I look at these two women, I think that Aguilar is like considerably like her process to winning. Like, she actually has a process to winning fights. I think Casey goes out and just does shit. But she's bigger and fucking like probably on the upswing, and I would assume Aguilar's kind of on the downswing coming off an injury and fairly long layoff. I keep seeing Aguilar just being able to out wrestle her, but I don't know. I don't know enough about either of them, like, or care enough about either of them to like lay any money on it. But I feel like this should be like a pretty easy Aguilar win, but it seems like a lot of people don't agree with that, so probably just stay away.
Fair enough. Let's head to the FX prelims on FX for free, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Kicking it off in the lightweight division. Marco Polo El Toro Reyes, outstanding nickname. James the Texecutioner Vic. Vic coming in at a -400 favorite. Dougie, do you have anything on this one?
I think Vic is a donkey. I'm not a big fan of James Vic. His personality rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. He got explained like years ago as a guy that is like really good for like 30 seconds in a fight. And he seems to have really gotten like capitalized off of that, where he's beating these guys, but I just still don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think every time he gets a guy that's going to be pretty good, he can lose. Now, I don't think Barzola, or that's who he's fighting. Wait, no, who's he fighting?
Reyes.
Marco Polo.
Reyes is necessarily like that guy. That being said, I ain't laying no -4 on James Vick, and I'd probably, out of spite, bet on the other guy. I'd fucking have the ticket, and I could talk shit and whatnot. So I'll probably put something on Reyes just because. But like James Vick fucking trains with Lloyd Irvin, like fuck everything about it. Like I just know. So that's my thought. But like I think Reyes is live enough as a banger where he could catch Vick kind of sleeping. But I don't know.
What do you got, Doc?
Yeah, I'm not like. I was impressed with Vic in his last fight against Trujillo. I actually had Trujillo in that fight, but what the hell is that?
Sorry, I'm mixing something for what I'm cooking.
It sounds
So like a vibrator.
yeah.
It's like a wand mixer.
Oh yeah, I know what that means. Yeah, I know what that is. But Vic, I think, is just a bigger guy. He's got a 6-inch reach. I just don't think that Reyes is going to be able to close the distance, and I don't know. I think this is Vic wanted this fight. He wanted to be in Dallas. After he beat Trujillo, he came on the mic. He wanted to be at 211. I just don't see Reyes having any kind of. I just don't see it. I don't think he's going to get Vic down, and I think Vic could. I can see Vic winning probably by guillotine, second round sub.
Yeah,
I could see that happening.
his submission game should have some fun with Marco Polo.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the featherweight division.
Nobody is
What's
going to
up?
get the end of it if Reyes wins.
Oh no, you
Oh,
won't.
Hey, I'll root for you, but there's no way I'm betting on this fight. No way.
All right, featherweight division. We have Jared the Flash Gordon versus Michael Capo Quiones. Gordon's about a -155 favorite. Why don't you lead us off with this one, Doc?
Honestly, this is one of the fights I did not take a look at much. I know Gordon is Gordon's a pretty, like, he's quick. Kind of he's young. Quinones is kind of I think Quinones is older, I think.
Quinones is homie with the mustache, isn't he?
I believe so. Yeah, but I honestly haven't done a lot of homework on this fight, so it's kind of a pass for me, really.
You got anything on this one, Dougie?
Well, you guys are in luck because I don't know shit about it either.
Yeah, don't care about this one.
I don't know.
We'll move on to another. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say I think that's the dude with the mustache, and that's the most I got on it.
Oh shit! That'll move us on another featherweight fight. We have Chaz the Striper Kelly versus Jason the Kid Knight, and we got Kelly's about a -125 favorite over Knight. Dougie, got anything?
This is a good fight. These guys both come and they both like Knight is a guy that will just fight the fight wherever it goes, and Skelly is kind of like wants to grapple and do that, but Knight is like super comfortable off his back and stuff. So and he's can just go and go and go, and Skelly gets tired. So I really don't know what to do. I am inclined to be like the wrestler is better, and Skelly does some pretty special stuff sometimes grappling wise, but like so does Knight. And like he comes to fucking fight. Like he's like the modern day version of Josh Neer that's better. You know, he just is like there. And I would just probably enjoy this fight. I doubt either of them finish each other, so the over's probably a good parlay piece in this because they're both pretty tough. But good fight. This is just a good fight.
Well, when you got the nickname the Scrapper, it's going to be a good one. What do you got, Dawk?
Yeah, everything. I agree with everything Duggy says. I do like the fact that Knight really takes the fight to people. He'll come at you, and Skelly's not that type. Skelly's more of a kind of a he reacts more, and for some reason I've heard a lot of people talking that Skelly's going to take this fight, and I think Skelly is from Texas.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
yeah. But man, something tells me I like Knight here. I do. I like Knight. But I think Knight's better on his feet for sure. And I think this is going to be like kind of a scramble fest. Kind of like the Tim Elliott Smolka fight. It's just going to be, which was a great fight.
Yeah, amazing fight.
Wow.
Okay, but do you get concerned though that like Skelly's going to be the nail when they're grappling? Like he's going to be the guy on top. It's going to be Knight like getting sweeps if he does, or getting back up. But like, do you see Knight getting top control? Like, I don't necessarily think Knight's going to get top control. I think I think it's pretty obvious where Skelly wants to fight, and I think it's pretty obvious where Knight wants to fight. Knight wants to fight on the feet. I think Knight can compete, you know, on the ground, but where Skelly's more comfortable. But I think Knight has a tremendous advantage on his feet. I agree.
And I just think that, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of a thing where Skelly's not that impressive of a striker, and Knight's the superior striker by far. And then Skelly is kind of a better on the mat, but not by much.
Like, yeah, I don't necessarily think Skelly's better on the mat, but I just think Skelly's process to where, like, Skelly is going to be trying to get on top. Like, that is what he's going to do.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And Knight's probably going to let him for periods of the fight because he's a good grappler too. So that's what I would be concerned about is
if he's going to get caught.
Knight spending 2.5 minutes on his back and then winning 2.5 minutes striking, but like maybe the judges can't, you know what I mean? Like that's I agree that he's the better striker. They're probably equal grapplers where I don't know, like Skelly might not even be able to like be passing his guard and shit. But like if Skelly hits 6 of 12 takedowns over the course of the fight, does he fucking hump his way to a win here? I think it'll be like a super competitive scrambly shit and like not like boring, but I just like that's what I question about this is like I think I read this the exact same way, except that I come out of it being like I think Skelly will get enough dominant time, but maybe not. You know what I mean? Like that's what.
And he's a good fight. And another thing that you got to think about is that the crowd, he's going to have the crowd behind him, and is that going to sway the judges in any way? I mean that's a possibility. So. I don't know. I think Knight is very capable of very capable of winning this fight.
Oh, yeah.
If I had to side with,
like he could knock him out even.
He could. I just think he's the more explosive. He's the more explosive fighter, and I can't wait. This is gonna be a great fight.
That's weird.
It's gonna be a great fight.
I don't think he's more explosive than Skelly. I think he's more like potent of a striker, but I think Kelly's far more explosive of a guy. Like
really,
I see Jason Knight as like a Diaz type guy that's just can fucking go and he's there and he throws fucking 60 punches a minute, so he's just impossible to deal with. But he's like not like all of a sudden he's closed the distance and you're like, what the fuck? Like, that's what Skelly is to me. Like, Skelly's got that, like, bam, shot on you and he's in. And like, he's not even that plus of an athlete, but compared, like, I don't think Knight's a good athlete at all. He's just he's probably been fighting since he was 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he would
Yeah.
get along with the Diaz brothers for sure. Like,
Oh, no doubt.
Just like, you could just see them be like, oh, this guy's cool. Like,
Right.
Josh Neer type of just grimy. Like, what'd you do today? Oh, we was at the gym for 12 hours. Like, oh, like,
I love
how many
Dougie's
rounds-
country
how many-
accent.
it's like, how many
I love all
rounds
his
you do?
accents.
Like 27. Like, fuck. Like, okay. I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But I don't know. And like, this fight is this like a pick'em?
Pretty
It's
much.
close to that. I think Knight is a slight dog.
Yeah, Skelly's like a minus. I just showed it. Skelly is like a minus 125.
Okay.
So it's lined about right, I guess.
And is the over like 3-1?
I do not.
The over is over 2.5 is minus 190.
Ah, that's what I like.
Yeah, that's a nice parlay piece.
There you go. Enjoy a hell of a fight and parlay the over, folks. Moving on to the final fight on the FX prelims. This on mini cards would be on the main card, but this is the UFC 2017. So we have in the lightweight division, the number 3 lightweight, Eddie, the Underground King Alvarez, taking on the number 9 lightweight, Dustin, the Diamond Poirier. This is a great-looking fight. Poirier is the favorite at minus 130 in most shops. Some you can find it a little lower than that. So Alvarez, small dog. Dawk, kick us off on this one.
Well, the last time, it's kind of weird. The last time we saw Eddie Alvarez, he got knocked in next week by Conor McGregor, and then the last time we saw Dustin Poirier, he couldn't walk after he fought Jim Miller because Miller did a number on his legs. You have to wonder if that's going to be somewhat of the game plan for Eddie Alvarez. This is not. We talked about this before, Bubba. Before, this is a coin flip fight. I don't know what kind of Eddie Alvarez we're going to see. Does he have another run in him, a title run in him? I mean, he was just thoroughly just beat down, and what does that do to a guy's confidence? Although on the other hand, he is a very, very, very good boxer, very good striker, and Poirier is a guy that can leave himself open, and Eddie can take this fight to the ground and win ugly. I don't know how this fight's going to go. I think this is a coin flip fight. I think it's just kind of like, to be honest, if I had to bet it, I would probably take Alvarez, but I don't know what we're going to get out of Alvarez. So I'm just going to enjoy the fight and go from there.
Yeah, you don't know what Eddie you're going to get because we've said it before, certain guys, when they get knocked out like that, that next fight's a complete question mark. And you got Poirier.
Yeah.
You got Poirier who got smoked by Michael Johnson. In the Miller fight, he looked better, but he got his legs killed. Speed-wise, Eddie's not going to, surprise him with much, but the veteran nature of Eddie's a whole other game. Dougie, what do you have on this fight?
This is an extremely difficult fight to predict. So it's not a fight I've ever really thought about before either, which is just, I don't know. I see Dustin Poirier winning this fight. I think that's a trajectory thing. I think they're pretty close right now, but I think that I don't think Eddie is durable like Jim Miller is to get through an attritive fight with Dustin Poirier, because Poirier is so potent with like being able to hurt somebody really, really bad. And I don't know if at this point in his career, if Eddie gets hurt really bad against a guy like Poirier, if he can recover into like a firefight and survive that. Like I think if Poirier hurts him, the fight's over. Like I think he's too good to fuck around and not get a pound out finish or jump on his back or jump on a guillotine or something like that. I don't think I would bet it, but just because again, like career-wise, Eddie is the type of guy that usually beats Poirier, like when he steps up. But I don't think it's that time anymore.
You got anything else on this one, Doc?
No, I just this is just a very unpredictable fight, and I just don't see this as a bettable fight for me personally.
And we talked about it earlier, Doc. This feels kind of like another fight coming down the road here on this card. It could be one of those passing of the torch moments. Poirier's looked a lot better in his new weight class. Once he got his ass handed to him by Michael Johnson, he's kind of looks like he's developed a bit. So it's going to be really interesting.
Sure.
Really interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Indeed.
All right. Let's take it to the pay-per-view. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific at your local dealers. Spend that fat cash you made over the weekend for this weekend. And we'll kick it off with a card that was on the prelims, but thanks to Henry Ciero's broken hand, and there's some funny tweets I saw of like, when did he break his hand? On the airplane? Like, because they could have rescheduled the fight a long time ago. But in the 185 middleweight division, we have the number 9 middleweight Krzysztof Jotko versus David Branch. David Branch, he's held belts in a couple different weight classes in the World Series of Fighting, I believe it was. And Jotko comes in at the minus 150 favorite on Branch. Duggy, why don't you lead us off on this one?
This is an extremely difficult fight to call, in my opinion, because you're dealing with a guy that you've seen a lot of tape on against not UFC competition, and then you're dealing with an up-and-coming guy that is like increasingly stepping his competition up and passing the test. Like I really like Jotko. Like I was telling people about Jotko 2-3 fights ago that I was like, this is a sleeper in this division. Like this guy can make some noise, I think. And then he had a big win in his last fight, and now people are like him more. But with David Branch is a pro. Like you're not going to get a bad performance out of him, I don't think. Here, he's not going to have UFC jitters. He's been in the UFC. He was a title fight guy. I don't know if he's got enough foot speed to get in on Jotko, and Jotko is getting better and better at keeping his range. And then when he gets into the clinch, he's really strong with like an over-under and like controlling into the fence. I think if Branch gets him down, he'll win rounds. I don't know if he can get him down. I would lean Jotko here, but this is a fucking good fight.
Yeah, it's another really good one. Seems like kind of contrasting styles a bit. Doc, what do you have on this one?
Yeah, I agree with Dougie. I like Jotko a lot. I think he's developing with every fight, and like Dougie said, he's passing the test. What really surprised me, and I think Dougie, you and I were both on Jotko when he fought Latest.
Yeah.
And what surprised me the most is that with Latest, what did he want to do? He wanted to keep the fight on the feet and just basically outstrike him, right? But then what does he do? He takes down Latest. He took him down. and he went to the ground with him, which is like against a guy like Latis, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Like, you really don't want to go there, but he did, and he was fine. I agree with Duggy. The fact that I think Branch's only path to victory is to get this to the ground, and I think he's just a little too old, a little too slow to compete with Jocko on the feet. And I don't think he's going to be able to get Jocko down because Jocko's got excellent takedown defense.
Like, if this fight was in 2015, he probably wins this fight.
Sure.
Because Jocko isn't quite there yet. But I think in 2017, this is a problem.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't Vinny Magalhaes we're fighting here. We're fighting Jocko, you know? Right. So, yeah, I would, I'd maybe put, I would not lay the juice with Jocko. I'd maybe put him in a parlay with somebody that I like. But I like Jocko here.
What's the line?
He's only minus 145. Dawk, you can get a little outside your realm once in a while.
No.
I know Dougie's with me.
You know, like, I don't drink juice.
I would lay that, but that would pretty much be like, throw your money on David Branch then. Dougie's about to come up with another fucking straight fucking hell.
You know, when I was looking at this fight, you know who Branch reminds me a ton of? And now I'm freaking blanking, of course. Who is the James Shields? He just wants to get you on the ground and dry hump you through the rounds. That's kind of the way I see it. Like you said, if Branch can get him down, sure, he's got a shot, but I don't think Jocko's going to let that happen. Let's head over to the featherweight division. And this fight I am pumped for, but half sad for at the same time. We have the number 2 ranked featherweight in the UFC, Frankie the Answer Edgar, future Hall of Famer, one of the best ever, going up against the up-and-comer Yair, number 7 ranked Yair Alcantara Rodriguez. Frankie's still about a 130 to 135 favorite. I know Dawk's been all over this fight. Dawk, why don't you take it away?
All right. Well, when I first looked at this fight, when the fight was first announced, I was very, very intrigued. And I just think that Yair Rodriguez, I think this is kind of a passing of the torch kind of fight. I think Rodriguez he's very long, and I think he's just a bad matchup for Frankie. He can come at Frankie from all angles, and I know that a lot of people think that, well, Frankie's just gonna take him down, and that's gonna be the fight. Well, that's not. How's he gonna? I just don't see that happening. And like I said, I mean, Rodriguez comes at you at all angles. And Frankie is one head kick away. I mean, he got stunned by Jeremy Stevens, for Christ's sakes. I mean, he is just too fast. Frankie's he's quick, but he's lost a step. He's 35 years old.
He's getting up.
Yeah, he's getting up there. And I think one thing that also kind of like it kind of tells me something is that Frankie Edgar is actually commentating on fights. So I think he's kind of planning for the future a little bit. Where you got this kid from Mexico who's super hungry, he's super dynamic in his striking. And he's a good scrambler. I mean, yeah, Frankie might get him down once or twice, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep him down. I mean, he's got the reach advantage. I mean, I just think he might take a couple pages out of what Aldo did. I just think this is a bad matchup. I think this is going to be just like strikes from everywhere, leg kicks, body kicks. I think he's just gonna catch Frankie. I think this is gonna be a late second round TKO for Yair.
I got some hot takes, but I'll send it to Dougie first beforehand. What do you got, Dougie?
This is a fight that, on first glance, I am like, Frankie Edgar's going to push his shit in. I just think I was just like, this is going to be bad. And the more it's gotten closer, the more I don't believe that. I really don't know. How can I explain this? I feel like I can find more, like, I can talk myself into more Frankie Edgar wins in this fight. Like, I can just see things happen for me that are like, yeah, Frankie can win this fight. But what I'm fucking seeing in my head is him just getting head kick knocked out. Like, that's what I like. I think, how about this? I feel like Frankie Edgar has more paths to victory, but I think the clearest path to victory is like a head kick knockout for Yair.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how to like else to really like articulate it, but like,
I'll help you.
I don't know. It's going to be a good fight, and like I could see Frankie like winning 30-27 and just holding him down, and Yair never being able to get up because he's getting kicks caught. Can see fucking Edgar just jabbing him and just like, even though he's shorter, he's so good at distance like management, just winning that. You know what I mean? But what I really see is him just getting fucking brained. Like,
Well,
oh,
that's
man.
the scary
I don't want to
situation.
see it either, but like,
No, I don't either. I'm terrified.
it's gonna be a good one. Yair's
No.
for real.
Yeah, I agree. Like what Dougie's trying to say is what I will try to say as well. It kind of comes down to if Frankie can keep it a controlled fight, it obviously favors Frankie because Yair's he likes to throw stuff like the spin kicks, the backwards flying elbows. He just likes to have it coming from all directions. And I think that's where Frankie's going to get caught when he's trying, bob and weave and come in. He's going to get caught with something he doesn't see coming. And
I just thought about something that, can I say this?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Like Frankie Edgar's main training partner is anybody?
Is it Matt Serra?
Who's the other really good guy out of that camp?
Is it Whiteman?
It's fucking Barboza.
Oh, Barboza. Well, there you go.
That's right.
Big. That's big,
So,
actually.
Like he's gonna see a dude that's super hyperkinetic every day. Has been seeing this for years.
Okay.
I wonder. I just thought about that. Like, well, I don't know why I thought about that while you were talking, but like, it's the first time it's crossed my mind. But I wonder if he's actually going to be pretty prepared for that speed.
Well, because that's the thing that scares me the most is just that out of nowhere speed. Because we know how Frankie works. Like you said, he can jab you to death and go in and out, but it's at Frankie's pace. And if Frankie can't control the pace, it's going to be bad. And you said Frankie could take him down and hold him down, but we know Frankie's a world-class wrestler. But how often do we really see Frankie usually do that? Frankie loves to just fight, scrap. So,
but I think, like I agree with that statement that he's not really like, if he gets him down, Yair's not getting him. But I think it's like if he gets in on his hips, he can get him down. Yair gets up, he gets a rear waist lock, drags him back down again, gets him back up, drags him back. You know what I mean? Like it turns into that a wrestling match. True. And he's good at that.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, it's going to be a hell of a fight. I know, Dawk, you want to say what you have on this fight?
Yeah, I already bet Yair at plus 131. He's down to like plus what is it? He is
a bunch of points today.
105 to 115.
Yeah, plus 105 to plus 115 in some books. So yeah, I'm on Yair.
Yeah.
So, does that give you any pause though? Because like that would be something that would give me a little, like, that's changed the way I think about this a little bit, was realizing that, and I know you're already in, but I'm just like talking.
No, not really.
Okay, fair enough.
You have Barboza speed, and then you have Yair Rodriguez speed.
Oh, you think there's a difference?
I think there's a slight difference.
Oh, I don't think there's a difference. I would say Barboza's faster.
I just think that Yair's, like, the way he comes at you and his, like, unorthodox striking is very, like, he's going to bring something new to the table that he hasn't seen, I'm sure. And I mean,
Correct.
it's not going to be like, do you think he's, I mean, you are correct when you say that Edgar's very, very good at distance management. And I very, very true. But do you think Yair's been, like, training with wrestlers? Do you think he's, I mean,
Oh,
he's not,
100%. Like, trust me, dude. Like, I don't think I could bet this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but, and I think if you had jumped on Yair when you did, it was the correct bet. But, like,
yeah.
And I see paths to victory for him for sure, and he's 100% trending upward, like, clearly, like it's so visible. But I just, if you could pick anybody in the UFC, not Yair Rodriguez, to be like, I need you to be Yair Rodriguez, you're probably taking Edson Barboza.
That's true.
And that's,
yeah,
I mean,
no,
it's just
yeah,
you're, and it's not something that should like sway anything for real on you, especially if you've got, you know, how you broke this down, you know what I mean? But I was like, oh, I wonder how much that speed is, like, if he's going to be real ready for that or not now. Like, I wonder.
And I'll bring this point too before we move on to the next fight. Hold on 1 second. Let me put on my WME IMG hat.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
I do remember this. When Wes Reynolds came on with us, Bubba, and we were breaking down a UFC. I forget which one it was, but he brought up a good point, and it's something that you kind of have to think about. Why did they make this fight? Why did they make this fight? Why are they passing of the torch?
Okay, but how often does that really go right for them?
True. Good point.
How good are they at that? Because, like,
true.
Yeah, well,
how sure went good when Paige fought Rose. Oh wait, like,
yeah.
Sage Northcutt's really worked out well.
At least they did that on the same fight card to knock it out at once.
There is a beast because he's got real skills, but Frankie Edgar's also not Rose Namajunas either.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very interesting fight. I just see it. I think it's. There's a lot of interesting fights on here, but this is definitely one of the
for like a half hour.
Yeah, and this is why I love this podcast, is because we can talk about fights like this, but we can't be here all night. So I'm going to move this on. Dawk likes Yair. We're stuck in the middle. It's going to be a great fight, regardless. And that's what's beautiful about this card. It is so loaded. We move on to the next fight in the welterweight division. Number 3 welterweight, Damian Maia, a 1 win away from potentially that title fight he's always been wanting. But he goes up against number 5, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Masvidal is around a -120 to -130 favorite in most shops. The line's been dropping, I believe. This has entertainment written all over it. Duggy, start us off with this one.
Yeah. I've been, like, on Masvidal forever. Like, I've known about that guy for a long time and been pretty high on his skill set and kind of wondered why it never really, like, crystallized for him, and now it seems like it is. Damian Maia brings something to the table that, even if you're prepared for it, doesn't matter. these guys both have flaws. They're both probably fighting as well as they ever have in their lives. They both have pretty clear paths to victory. No fucking idea. I have no idea. Like, I have no idea, and especially after Robert Whittaker just beat the pissing shit out of Jacare. This is like a very similar styled fight where you have a smaller guy coming up with really good wrestling takedown defense and potent ass offense in his hands against an aging jiu-jitsu fucking top control guy. Like, I have no idea. No idea. This is just going to be a good fight, and I'm just going to enjoy it.
What are you thinking, Doc?
Well, let's just let me how do I preface this? Let's say I'm going in and I'm looking at the lines, and I see that Damian Maia is now an underdog, and I just looked at it and I said, "What the fuck is going on?" Yeah. And I understand the hype about Masvidal, and I think Masvidal is a great fighter. He has his flaws, like Duggy said, but let's just take a look at who he's beaten. All right. He lost to. Let me just run through his last 5 fights. Benson Henderson loss. Lorenz Larkin loss. Which was a tight one.
But I was just going to say with the Benson Henderson one, like, people, like, there's an argument that he could be on, like, a 10-year winning streak right now or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the Iaquinto fight was very close, too.
People felt like he won that also.
Okay. Ross Pearson.
People felt like
he won
that. Oh,
well, he did. He won. Jake Ellenberger. And then he beats Donald Cerrone, in which
He fought like 2 weeks prior. Fuck that.
Dude, Cerrone was not 100% that fight. He was not himself. I'm sorry, just wasn't. He wasn't the real Donald. He had to take a break. And everybody's saying, like, how's he going to get how does Damian Maia going to get Masvidal down? How's he going to get Masvidal down? I don't. But dude, Damian Maia is a different level. And I'm going to break it out. As Dougie always says, there are levels to this shit.
Yeah.
I just think that he's going to be able to get Masvidal down. I think we actually talked about Maia, about he doesn't absorb punches.
Nope.
He's very, very good.
I think he's taken like 14 punches in his last 5 fights or something.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. I just think, and you know what? Maia's elbows, when it goes to the ground, Maia's elbows are not nice. No. Maia's got some power too.
He's a fucking giant 170 pounder.
Yeah. He is, and that's
if he's on top of you, he's got all the control, so he can base up and just fucking rain shit down because he's got such a good base.
I just think that Maia is a bigger welterweight as opposed to Masvidal, who's like a smaller welterweight. I see this going to the ground, and I think Maia's gonna just dominate him and take the will right out of him. I think Maia's gonna win this. I think he either wins it by unanimous decision or he wins it by submission. You know what? And you can talk all you want about my grappling's underrated and this and that, but well, you can talk all you want, but when you get there, it's a totally different ball game with Damian Maia. So Maia for me.
And he's so smooth and impressive. When he gets control, it's like a piece of it's like artwork. He just goes to town on you. It's amazing.
I love it. I love watching it.
Like, I love Jorge's stand-up skills, and it's so hard to finish Jorge. That's the one thing I'm curious to see. Like, really hard to finish Jorge. But then again, who he's faced. But yeah, what, Dougie?
Hard to finish Jorge, but if Damian, he's fucking finished.
Oh, it's over. Yeah, it's over.
No, like, yeah, it's hard for Michael Chiesa to finish George Masvidal, but it's fucking not hard for Damian Maia to finish him.
Yeah, because he got out of Chiesa's choke.
He fucking choked out Chiesa. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I like Masvidal a ton, but there's something about Maia, Dawk. We've been talking about him for a while now. I know the second we saw this fight, we were pumped on it. I think it's Maia's time.
Me too, and I hope he gets his eventual shot. I hope WME IMG doesn't screw him.
It's very possible.
Don't hold your breath.
I'm not trying. I'm not going to.
Now let's get to the co-main event of the night in the women's strawweight title fight. We have the champion, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, undefeated, going up against number 3, Jessica Bate Estaca Andrade. Joanna is a minus 160-ish favorite, give or take. Some places a little higher, some places a little lower. That's very low for Miss Joanna Champion these days. There might be another changing of the guard tonight. Duggy, kick us off with the women's strawweight title fight.
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people say that Andrade is like a pretty live dog here, and I just don't see it. I just don't. I think like she hits real hard, but she throws these really like loopy punches that I think on like young Jacek is just going to be throwing like down the pipe, and I think pretty quickly it's going to be apparent that there are levels to this shit, and like she's going to wear her down, and I know she's pretty good at keeping a high pace, but like I don't know. I don't see how she's going to really beat young Jacek. She's good. I just like if you watch them both hit mitts, it's like very apparent that there's like a totally different speed going on here with them, and I think that is going to really be apparent in this fight. That like she is not going to be there a lot of the time. I don't think Andrade is a good enough of like a wrestler to like be able to get in on her hips because she's got such good takedown defense, and it's just getting better. Yeah, I like the negative 160, negative 170, whatever line that we're getting on.
What are you thinking, Doc?
I think Andrade's stronger, and I think if she can get a hold of Joanna and get her down to the ground, I think it's going to be a fight. And I think that once Joanna feels Andrade's power and how hard she hits, I think it's going to be a pretty good fight. The last time Joanna fought, she fought Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and I thought Kowalkiewicz was a live dog, and boy was I wrong. But she did catch Joanna, kind of stunned her a little bit.
But I think
the only thing
is markedly better striker than Andrade, even though Andrade's got more raw power.
Agree. And the thing that really kind of makes me hesitant on taking Andrade is the fact that she kind of overextends and she gets a little wild. And if she does that, then it's Joanna. But I'm leaning towards taking a small shot with Andrade, but I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do with this fight yet, but I lean Andrade. But the last time I bet against Joanna, I lost. So, of course I lost. So, and Dougie brings up a lot of good points. So I'm going to take Andrade here. I think she's strong. I think she's the stronger fighter. The length and the quickness do concern me though. With Joanna, she is definitely game. But if you man, Andrade is a big strawweight, and like that's the thing. If she gets a hold of her, man, it could be a very interesting fight. So I'm leaning towards taking a shot on Andrade, but for right now, I'm just gonna watch the fight for now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Joanna's been so dominant, the volume she brings out there, but the power and the wrestling of Andrade is what kind of gets my attention. And Joanna's last few fights, like the early rounds, the bigger fighters have given her trouble. We've noticed that the last couple of fights. But the volume and the stamina, she wears them down and dominates the last 3 rounds. That's what Joanna does. But it makes you wonder if Andrade can catch her early and do her damage. The line's kind of telling to me, we talked about it earlier, Doc, that you don't see many Joanna lines this short.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. It's not now by no means this is frickin' MMA, for Christ's sake. These lines, doesn't matter how short or tall they are, anything can happen. But there's something telling to that, in my opinion. But I think Andrade's worth a shot. The one thing that worries me, like Duggy said earlier, everyone is talking about it,
Right.
and that's not something I like at all.
Yeah, somebody actually got at me on Twitter last night and asked me. It was after I went to bed, but they asked me if I thought the line was fishy, and I said, no, I don't think it's fishy, but Joanna probably wins, but Jessica has a very good shot at beating her. So Jessica could be the one that kills a lot of parlays, but who knows?
Any last words on this one, Dougie?
No. It's good.
All right.
Also,
Yeah.
one thing. I feel like everybody is saying this is like, oh, I guess we have another fight. Sorry. I forgot. There's still a main event, but let me get this out because I started. I feel like everybody's like, this is the best card there's ever been. I think that's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's not the best ever.
Like this
Maybe
is the best
this year.
Yeah, this is the best card we've had in like 6 months, but like I feel like people are really saying that. Like, this is the best card on paper they've ever made, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't see that. Like, this is a good pay-per-view, but it's not like amazing. Like, I don't know. But
It's because all the other pay-per-views have been turds.
Yeah, this is like the first pay-per-view that's been willing to be purchased in a long time. That's the thing. Like Doc and I were saying earlier, I'm actually making it a point to buy it and be home for it. It's been a while.
Interesting.
But by no means is it the best one. Not a chance. It's been a while. Hell, that New York card was better than this. 205 was better than this.
Yeah.
And there's one coming up down the road that might be better than this that we can talk about later. But this is an awesome card, and that'll take us to the main event of the evening, the heavyweight title fight between the champions Stipe Miocic versus number 4 heavyweight junior Cigano dos Santos. Miocic is about a -140 favorite at most books. Dos Santos, the small dog, about +110. This is an interesting fight. It's a rematch from a previous fight. Doc, take us away.
Well, first of all, the fact that this line opened where it did, I believe it opened. That's Miocic was like a 200 favorite or something.
Yeah,
that was absolutely stupid, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not betting on it then. But I guess I just wasn't paying attention. And then again, I don't bet on heavyweights all that often. When it comes to who the better striker is, I think technically, Junior is. And I think that Miocic, his downfall will eventually be that he is very hittable. And when it comes to like wrestling, I think JDS is the better wrestler. Excuse me, but JDS beat him once, and I think JDS is going to beat him again. I don't think that Stipe caught Werdum at a very, very good time. Werdum was coming off a layoff, and I was actually on Stipe that fight. And who did he fight? Oh, he fought the guy with the glass chin, Overeem. Yeah, I don't think he's in the class of JDS. And honestly, I was shocked when this fight was announced because I didn't think JDS was in line for it. But you can say Miocic is hungry, he wants to right the ship and get a little revenge. But I think
who else would it be?
I know. It's just I know.
No one can stay healthy.
There's nobody else, yeah, and nobody can stay healthy, yeah. But I think the fact that Miocic leaves himself open too much, and the fact that JDS is just the more technical striker, maybe not more powerful, but definitely the more technical and the quicker. I think JDS takes this.
What do you think, Duggy?
I agree. I think that they both want a stand-up fight, and all things being equal, Junior Dos Santos is better at stand-up than Miocic. Miocic is probably a better wrestler, but Junior Dos Santos is a better athlete, and it makes the difference up, and he can't get him down. And I think that's not going to change because it wasn't really close in the first fight from my recollection. Yeah, I just think Dos Santos is going to use his jab, and he's quicker. And I think he throws in combination better. I don't know. I think he's been more disciplined recently. I think this is a good fight for him and a bad fight for Miocic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Miocic a ton, but if it stays on the feet, you got to look at Dos Santos a lot in this fight, especially on dog money wise. If you're talking gambling purposes, definitely. But he's got the much more crisp, sound boxing, like you guys keep saying, and yeah, you got to like it. He beat Ben Rothwell, lost to Reem, beat Stipe, lost to Velasquez. Yeah, it's not a bad stretch though. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'd like to see Stipe keep it, no doubt about it, but this might be a changing of the belts right here.
Yeah, I like Stipe too. I mean, but I don't think he's even like I don't think he's a full-time fighter. I think he's like isn't he a firefighter or something?
Is he still doing that?
I think so.
I know he was, but
I
have a hard time believing he's still a full-time firefighter at this point.
Yeah.
He seems to be at every Cleveland sporting event, so I doubt it.
Oh, really?
But yeah. All right, that covers the fight card. Any best bets on the night, gentlemen? Start with you, Doc.
I'm on Yair Rodriguez, and I'm on Damian Maia. Yair is my best bet.
Dougie, anything for you?
I'm on Joanna right now, and I will probably I like the Skelly night over.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And there was some. It was fucking Cejudo. I kind of like Benitez. So maybe I'll parlay those two. I wanted to use Cejudo, but obviously it's not happening.
Nice. All right. Well, coming up, we have a week off. And then on the 28th, fight night in Stockholm, Sweden, Gustafsson versus Teixeira. Following Saturday, UFC 212, Aldo versus Holloway in Brazil. And after that, we fight every freaking week. Yeah, you don't get a week off in all of June. It'll be nice and busy. Anything upcoming you guys want to talk about, or are you good for now?
I can't wait for Holloway Aldo. That's going to be a great fight.
I have a non-MMA question, and you've probably answered this on previous podcasts for baseball. Like, you won like 50 fucking G's.
Yeah, I did.
What the fuck? On like a fucking $10 entry or something like that?
A $4.
Four.
Yeah, $4.
You are the fucking man.
it was pretty nice, but we continue to grind.
The greatest part is I remember I was talking shit to you that night.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're talking so much shit.
I was talking a bunch of shit because you kept saying dong, double dong, and I'm like, this guy's all about these guys' dongs, da da da. And then you went, oh my god, and went radio silent for a little bit. And Octagon Locks told me that you won 50 grand, or I saw something like that and was like, wait a second. And then I was like, oh my god, I was talking shit to him that night. Like, oh my god. Fucking awesome. That is so awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. And
oh my god.
I like the UFC DFS this weekend too, so hopefully we win some more.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
All right. That'll wrap us up. Dougie, any parting words?
No, nothing really. Just hope I don't lose every single fucking bet I make.
All right, Doc, anything from you?
My condolences to Washington, D.C. as their Capitals lost tonight at home, and the Wizards got railroaded by the Celtics. So my condolences.
I got something.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, Doc, you're a Patriots fan, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're good. You don't have anything to worry about ever. You're a Niners fan, Bubba?
I'm a Dolphins fan.
How the fuck are you a Dolphins?
Yeah, long story.
I'm sorry. That's a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, try recording podcasts with Doc all the time.
What the fuck did the Bears do?
Oh, dude. Oh, my God.
Holy shit. Like,
wow.
Because I was hoping you were going to be a Niners fan, and I was going to give you some love right now, because John Lynch fucking did the fucking deed on that. But, okay. I just, like, because that was one of the shocking draft things I've
yeah, stupid.
I have one last parting word. Dougie, we're approaching UFC 214 in Anaheim. We have a chance to see John Jones versus Cormier and Betch Correa get her title fight in person. Are you still available that weekend?
I'll make sure I'm available that weekend.
Okay, then we'll be in touch. I wanted to ask you out on this like we're on prom.
Yes, I like that.
But all right, guys, good stuff. Thanks for joining us, guys. Doc, Dave, Dougie, thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All righty. I'll talk to you guys.
All right, everybody. This was the UFC 211 pay-per-view pod. Thanks for listening. Good luck this weekend. Enjoy the fights. It's loaded. We'll catch you guys later.